Rupp Arena. The Kentucky Wildcats, now ranked number 5 in America, looking to improve to 7-2 in the SEC, taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Kentucky coming off perhaps their best performance of the year in a very difficult place to play. And Oscar Tshiebwe, the double-double machine, put on a clinic at Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. Oscar Tshiebwe showing he's got a little mid-range game to go along with all those rebounds inside, the nation's leading rebounder. And yes, he's got some moves inside as well. One of the top 10 scorers in the SEC. Again, he put on a clinic, and so too did Kentucky. An 18-point win. Another victory for the SEC over the Big 12. As we say hello and welcome everybody inside Rupp Arena. He is John Sunbolt. I am Mike Morgan. Great to be with you this Wednesday night. And John, we know what Oscar Tshiebwe does inside, but this game will also feature two of the better guards in the SEC, Ty Washington and Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen Jr., preseason player of the year, does everything. Scores it, rebounds it, assists it. Had 32 points in the first matchup against Kentucky. And on the other side, Ty Washington, he's back, he's healthy. We might as well name the Freshman of the Week award after him. He has been spectacular all season long. Great matchup. Expect Vanderbilt to try to get off to a good start. Pippen coming off a good outing against Georgia last Saturday.
Kentucky has won 11 in a row in this series. The Wildcats at the friendly confines of Rupp Arena this year, 13-0 under Coach Cal. They have won over 93% of their games in this building. And the fans, plenty to be excited about with the way they've been playing basketball here of late. Tshiebwe out jumping Melora Brown on the tip. It's Kentucky in white. It's Vandy in black. We are underway from Lexington.
Mike, Vandy has been a better defensive team this season than last year. They will switch up man-to-man. They'll show some zone. They've done a better job of containment on the defensive end.
There's Tshiebwe. Stops at the elbow and back up top to the SEC's leading assist man, Xavier Wheeler, with 5 to shoot.
Melora Brown on Vanderbilt has to be a communicator defensively on all high picks, and every time that Oscar rolls down, he's got to defend.
Vandy starting 5. They're healthy now. And a great addition, Rodney Chapman. He takes some of the pressure off of Pippen. There's Chapman with the ball, number 3 in black.
Chapman can score, he can distribute, but as you said, takes pressure off Pippen of having to handle the ball every time down.
Kentucky suffocating man-to-man defense. Vanderbilt struggling to find a good look. One-on-one move, and a nice one at that as it drops for Jordan Wright.
Mismatch on size. Wright goes 6'6", can take it inside, goes outside, but he was matched up against the 5'9" Xavier Wheeler.
Kentucky 13-4 on the year with the starting 5 that you see at the bottom of your screen. Keon Brooks coming off a career-high 27 to knock off the Jayhawks. Grady, one of the top 3-point shooters in America, knocks it down.
A better make than you can imagine, folks. He had to move the angle of the shot when he was at the top of the release. I think it was right close to making the block.
Top 3-point shooter in the Southeastern Conference at 44%. Nobody else is even close. Nice two-man game. Melora Brown misses the bunny, though, and the rebound of Tshiebwe.
He's got to make those, especially on the road in this building.
Grady again. Off the iron, and the rebound of the Commodores. Reach-in foul on Ty Washington. Coach Calipari, he was very happy about things today at shoot-around. You can just tell he loves this team, loves them even more after what they did to Kansas. But, Sonny, there's just not many weaknesses. Usually, even on a good Kentucky team, you could find a soft spot. I'm not sure where that is.
This one does not have any weaknesses. When they're healthy and playing, if they've got everybody on the floor playing well, it's a special team. I think one of the 2 best teams in the country, along with Auburn.
Yeah, how about that? Both from the Southeastern Conference as Pippen goes glass for his first basket, the SEC's number 2 leading scorer. Brooks on a pull-up. Tshiebwe let the rebound fest begin as he's feasting inside, but he walked.
Well, you were either going to get a walk or a 3-second.
Yep.
Obviously, offensive rebound. He's got to go right back up and be aggressive with it.
There's Jerry Stackhouse now in his 3rd year as the Vanderbilt head coach. 2-time NBA All-Star, and continues to just settle in to the college game. And he's got a little bit more of a healthy squad. They have had injuries this year that they've had to work through as they're tending to. Miles Studi, who's got a little bit of blood there near the nose. I mentioned Chapman is healthy, and we might see Liam Robbins, the transfer from Minnesota, tonight. He's the 7-foot transfer who they were awfully excited to get to Nashville, put up some really nice numbers for the University of Minnesota.
Yeah, a terrific big at Minnesota, and when he's on the floor, he is huge and massive. Let's take a look. There's the elbow across the face.
There you see Robbins, all 7 foot, 250 pounds of him.
You know, Minnesota, he had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 block shots. He was terrific. He played at Drake before he played at Minnesota.
Right.
We'll see if we see him tonight.
Be certainly a boost for Vanderbilt in the paint. The Commodores come into this game the worst rebounding team in the league. Kentucky, of course, the best rebounding team and one of the best in all of college basketball.
Might keep it, take an eye on Vandy offensively every time down. They run different sets. They try to find the mismatches when they can.
Tshiebwe leading the pack, but the pass a little too strong from Xavier Wheeler, who overall, Wheeler and Ty Washington. How about this for a stat for your 2 guards? Number 1 and number 2 in the league in assist to turnover ratio. They don't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, they've been terrific, and Cal has always said about Wheeler, we love it. His game is going to the next level, really, because he hasn't turned the ball over much.
Another turnover meanwhile on the Commodores. Brooks ahead. There's Mintz on the finish.
Nice to have a guy that was your leading scorer last year that comes off the bench, the ability to produce and produce right away.
And on the other end, there's the answer, Scottie Pippen Jr. This might be the last time he ever plays at Rupp Arena.
I think he likes to prove, Mike, that he's the best guard on the floor in a matchup against Kentucky.
Well, you and I have watched him progress quite a bit in the last couple of years. Mintz on the runner, and that'll be over the backboard. But you know, going back to Pippen, he was an incomplete player really his first year and a half. He's added so much to his game. He's now at least serviceable on the defensive end. That was not the case early on, and he can score in a multitude of ways.
Offensively, he is absolutely one of the best in this league. Shoots jump shots, goes off pace off the dribble, stop and go. And most can't speed him up. He plays at his tempo, which is terrific. The only weakness, he turns the ball over more than he should. He's a good player. He's got 1 more turnover than assists this season.
Chapman can't hit the running layup. Kentucky down by a point and on the run here with Wheeler. And a reset. Now a step back by Xavier. Tshiebwe, another offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the floor. How does Oscar Tshiebwe do it? 15 rebounds a game, continues to be an absolute dominating force down low. That will take you back to February 27th, 2016, the last time the Commodores knocked off the Wildcats. Matthew Fisher Davis, remember him? Elite scorer, had 20 points in that ball game. Jamal Murray for Kentucky, speaking of elite scorer, 33 points. He's still putting up numbers in the NBA. Jeff Roberson had 16 for the Commodores. And it was Vanderbilt's night. In fact, Coach Calipari, with 34 seconds left, says, all right, let's just go to the locker room. Let you guys celebrate. We are out of here. And that is the last time that Vanderbilt was able to knock off Big Blue. Vanderbilt used to be good for 1 or 2 of those a year. They haven't had that many upsets in the last couple of years. Of course, these 2 teams, a whole lot of history and tradition going head-to-head with one another. The 198th meeting. And the Commodores trying to pick up their first win in 6 years.
And I think Vanderbilt is, Stackhouse is making a case for the talent that he's building at Vanderbilt, right? They've got 3 wins, 3 and 5 in conference play. Game in, game out, they're better defensively. We know they can score because they have multiple shooters that can shoot it. Where are they hurting? Probably inside. They don't rebound as well as they should. But if the Robbins kid plays tonight, we will see if he does. Maybe that shores up the back end for them defensively.
Wheeler to Tshiebwe, thought about it, instead goes to Grady. Angled down to Brooks with 4 to shoot. Brooks, does he know? 1 to shoot, he does not know, and that's going to be a violation. Now Keon Brooks lost sight and track of the shot clock, and a rare turnover here for Kentucky. Good defense by the Commodores, as you mentioned, John. They've improved in that area overall. They actually hold their opponents to just 65 points per game. Kentucky, meanwhile, they've been living large in that 80 points plus per night. Really hard to keep Kentucky below that number.
Well, not many teams can play at the pace that Kentucky wants to play. Every time down, they want to push the tempo. And they're one of the best in the first 12 seconds of the shot clock.
That's off of Chapman, out of bounds. Again, Kentucky's defense coming to play tonight. Already 4 turnovers on Vanderbilt.
I will say this about Scottie Pippen Jr. He usually tries to get his teammates involved early in the first half. Second half, he becomes more of a producer at scoring the ball.
Grady off a screen. Couple dribbles, back out to Tshiebwe.
And look how closely Jordan Wright stays with Grady. Great pass.
Brooks is hammered on the play by Chapman, but that's all set up by Xavier Wheeler, who's been dropping dimes left and right, the SEC's assist leader.
When you have an unselfish point guard like Wheeler, it rubs off. He makes a cut. Big O puts a great pass to Wheeler, who shares the basketball as well as anybody in the country. Xavier, 3rd in the country at assists per game.
I mean, think about that if you're Kentucky. You've got the nation's 3rd leading assist man. You've got the nation's leading rebounder. You've got one of the nation's top freshmen in Ty Washington. If you look at his numbers, some of the things that he's done, no other freshman in America has done. You've got Kellen Grady, who's one of the nation's top 3-point shooters. Like, I mean, you get why people are excited about Kentucky basketball this year.
Well, when it's all going on a certain night, we saw what they did at Kansas. I think the game at Kansas was the most impressive win of the year of any game we've seen. The best performance of the year this Kentucky team had was against Tennessee in this building. They were spectacular, putting 107 points against that Tennessee squad.
All 5 starters for Kentucky average double figures, and then you've got guys like Mintz and Toppin off the bench.
Pippen will not mind the matchup against Wheeler. One of the guards he'll be bigger than, not many that he is.
Right.
He goes 6'3", though. He can jump over the top.
Here's the 7-footer. Robbins, we talked about fade and fire off the mark, tapped around and into the hands of Grady.
Well, it didn't take him long to get a shot up, and that's good.
That's what you want to see. Wheeler to Grady. Another 3. Another make for Kellen Grady.
You know the scouting report. I know the scouting report. So does every Vandy on the team. The problem is Grady stretches the floor so far you can't get to him in time.
You know, he scored over 2,000 at Davidson, and a lot of people said, well, yeah, but can he get his shot off at this level? He's getting it off quite well.
Yeah, it's easy. He's got explosiveness. He's got great footwork.
Oh, wow. Beautiful feed to Keon Brooks. What a pass by Davion Mintz.
Doesn't matter who brings the ball. Wheeler, Mintz, Washington. Any guard can bring it.
Pippen fouled on the 3 by Wheeler, and he'll get 3.
Take a look at this pass, and why does this happen? Because they run the floor, spacing. And Grady knows, just keep it wide. This time, Grady's on the outside. Defense is thinking outside, and he just wraps it around. Beautifully done.
When Kentucky is clicking the way they have here of late, they're just so hard to defend. It's like pick your poison. Even in the Auburn game, I mean, that was not a byproduct of bad offense. Auburn was just a little bit better down the stretch. And, of course, you had Ty get hurt in that game with an ankle injury. They tell us he's 100% tonight.
Yeah, and that first half was a fabulous first half, Auburn, Kentucky.
Right.
Ty going down. Changed some things up. Wheeler getting hurt in and out of that game because of, getting hit. He sat out 2 games having a concussion. That didn't help. But we'll say this about Auburn. There is no team as electric when they're playing well either.
A 4-point play opportunity for Davion Mintz. I will save the commentary on don't foul 3-point shooters because we just saw it back-to-back, John Sunvold.
Well, coaches don't like it, but it does happen. But how about this for confidence? Early this evening, 2 hours before, as we were in the gym, This is the shot that Mintz was working on.
Right.
He was bringing it off the dribble down the right side, stopping behind the three-point shooting. He was going down the middle of the floor, stopping, shooting, going down the left side of the floor. Full speed, stopping, shooting the three.
What a luxury to have Mintz come off the bench. Could start for probably 300 schools across the country, but he is the de facto sixth man for Big Blue.
Full court pressure now, drop back, man-to-man defensively.
Coming up on the 13-minute mark, Kentucky up by 6. Dezzoni, the freshman out of Pennsylvania, goes up top to Pippen with 6 to shoot.
Man, I'm telling you what, Robbins is one big dude. He's huge.
There's a shot at the buzzer, a 3 knocked out by Tyron Lawrence.
And good to see Lawrence back this season. Got hurt last January. ACL tear.
And Lawrence really has had to overcome a lot. His father tragically died in a car accident a couple years ago, and then the knee injury. But he is back and playing a role off the bench.
Might keep an eye out. Pippen is playing off a Wheeler, saying go ahead and shoot it. The insertion of Robbins inside. Remember how Tshiebwe had a tough time scoring against Kessler at Auburn inside.
Second foul on Xavier Wheeler. Now Ty Washington checks back in and getting a breather. Liam Robbins finally getting a chance to get some minutes this year, and the big 7-footer for the Commodores will play a factor not only in this game but the rest of the year.
We're not sure what he'll do offensively, but I can already tell the difference defensively when he was in.
Toppin left his feet. Man lost it out of bounds, but it'll remain Vanderbilt basketball with 18 on the shot clock.
Close. Mintz thought he had one.
Trouble getting it in bounds. They find Pippen with Mintz shadowing him. Now a couple of screens. It's Toppin guarding him. And there's what you talked about before. And at times, Pippen just gets a little bit careless with the basketball.
And it can be lack of communication. He had Dezzoni in the corner. And I think Dezzoni should stay in the corner in that move because he's coming down the lane. So stay in the corner if you're a shooter. If you go up, see, Dezzoni goes up, and the guy's not going to find you. He can't see you as well.
5th turnover now.
It's kind of like a quarterback making a pass, and the guy runs the wrong route. You look bad as a quarterback, but might not have been the right route.
Tshiebwe, back iron, top floor for the rebound is Lawrence. Commodores off and running. Now, where does the offense come from without Pippen on the floor?
Yeah, it does change things.
Thomas launching a 3.
I was going to say, of those on the floor, Trey Thomas is the one that's a quick trigger.
Ware Brown credited for the offensive rebound.
Not the best offensive group that Vanderbilt will play.
3 ball from the corner, kicks off the iron twice, and then ripping it down is Tshiebwe. Here comes Ty to Mintz, steps into a 3, pops out. Tshiebwe called for an offensive foul, trying to knife in for another rebound.
I love Mikey. He just smiles. Oscar just smiled at him.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. Overall, you still gets 15 boards a game. And overall, Kentucky is hitting a lot of shots as Tshiebwe gets his first foul. .11:21 to go in the first half. Kentucky leading Vanderbilt 15-12. While we were away, the officials teeing up John Calipari, who was upset on that last foul called on Tshiebwe.
You know, a couple things. He was not happy with the possession. A couple of possessions before, when Pippen got fouled on the 3, he thought Wheeler got pushed into him. And so that continued on for about 4 possessions.
Usually when you see a coach get teed up, especially on a rather, I don't want to say inconsequential, but hardly a huge call with 11:21 to go in the first half, that's been building up over time, right?
Yeah, again, it started a few possessions ago. He's just making sure the officials are on the same page that he's on.
Right. Jordan Wright's going to shoot the technical.
I think I would remind the officials that you do not want this crowd to be against you.
That's right.
You'd like to have them root for you.
Yes. They will be against Jordan Wright, who's 82% on the year. 2nd and 2. And he calmly buries a pair. Hey, Vanderbilt That's a one-point game. You feel like Kentucky's kind of clicking on all cylinders, but Vanderbilt hanging around.
Well, Vandy's been in a lot of games that they've lost. They've had a lot of leads. They were up big at South Carolina, at least double figures. In the second half, they lost it. They were up 3 at Florida, lost that ball game. And I said they've had 3 wins in this league.
Got to be Trey Thomas now, the sophomore guard out of Canada, running point.
So the other guy offensively to think about would be Jordan Wright, who just shot the technicals.
Wright to Thomas up top with 10 to shoot now. Back to Wright on the return. It's Mann left of the lane.
Physical, strong.
Mann, nice up and under move and past the shot blocking Lance Ware.
Yeah, the transfer from Gardner-Webb is a physical type player. I wasn't sure he could go over the top of Brooks, but he did at 6'6".
Ware into the game. John Calipari today at shoot-around was raving about the effort that he's been getting from Ware off the bench. Good box out there by Malora Brown. Right. Inside. And that's going to be a goaltend. It looks good, but for Lance Ware, definitely on the way down.
Yeah, but it looks good, but not a good play.
Yeah.
You've got to make a player make that shot. Right? Make Jordan Wright make that shot. Right. He makes it good because it's a tough shot. The other part is if you miss it, blocking, you're not blocking out. Malora Brown would have had an easy chance for an offensive rebound.
Don't look now, but the Commodores are on a 9-0 run. Washington's been quiet. Almost got away with a walk there. Mintz, drive and kick. Brooks will step in. Scooped up. Oh, what a tap pass down low to Brooks, and he's fouled. That is a veteran move by a 19-year-old freshman in Ty Washington.
Knows how to play. Does not get riled up. Ty Washington trying to get his game going offensively, but look at the tap.
Look at that. I mean, that's what I loved what Coach Cal told us today. So Ty goes 1 for 9 in the Kansas game. He says, you know what? I had coaches call me and say, I love the way that kid plays. Because even when he's not shooting well, he makes winning plays. A lot of guys, Sonny, as you know, when they're not shooting well, those woes carry over into the rest of their game.
Yeah, he had 6 assists and was solid defensively in Allen Fieldhouse against the Kansas Jayhawks. But I'll say this, how players think, he knows he was 1 of 9.
Right.
Remember, we had him a couple weeks ago. He was over 50% field goal percentage,
right.
40% threes, 80%. Those numbers have come down a little bit.
Yep.
And players know that in their mind. He's trying to get his game going a little bit more offensively than he did in Lawrence.
Looked like it clearly went off of Vanderbilt, so should remain Kentucky basketball. Again, the Commodores in the midst of a 9-0 run. And they're really doing most of the damage without Pippen on the floor. Pippen has 7, but he's been on the bench here for the last few minutes.
Yeah, a lot of times we talk when a 9-0 run, we focus on the 9. The 0 for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Not getting the looks they want on the offensive end, and they're missing the openers. Washington
angles down low to Tshiebwe. Splits a double. Kick out Grady on a 3. Got it. He hunts threes, and you don't mind it because he is so efficient when he shoots them.
Well, give the option, right? Do you double team Oscar in there, right? If you send a guy, you can't send one off Grady. They didn't, but his defensive player lost him for just a split second.
This is Jordan Wright.
Boy, icing the screen, perfect defense.
Junior from Baton Rouge finds Lawrence around the screen, 5 to shoot. Lawrence tried a crossover. Tshiebwe poked it away. And a jump ball with 2 seconds, and the arrow goes to the Commodores.
You want to see how quick Oscar works, not only inside, but look where Wright is. How far off do you want to be from a shooter? You can't do that.
No. Watch this.
Active hands, fast, quick. That's why he's a great rebounder, right? His guys go up. He snatches it sooner than anybody else. Tried to cross him over, can't do it.
That's your center poking it away from a 6'4" guard on a crossover. And that'll be a shot clock violation on the Commodores. Good defense.
Terrific play by Ty Washington. Tshiebwe got stuck. The roll by Malora Brown. He had a layup. Ty Washington came from the weak side to knock it off his leg.
Tie ball game, 11 minutes into the action here at Rupp Arena, where Kentucky is 13-0 on the season. Toppin, and it's stolen away. Breakaway for Mann. Blocked by Toppin. Oh my goodness, he got ball. Washington got it, and the foul.
A great steal by Jermaine Mann. Looks like he's got an easy finish. Jacob Toppin stayed with the play, and this is the special things Ty Washington to do. Goes to his left, gets off balance, control, pace, head up, eyes up, finishes. Boy, what a swing.
That is a complete swing. You have two on the other end, seemingly if you're Vanderbilt. An incredible block by Toppin and three the other way.
And we're talking about Jermaine Mann at 6'6", 230 is a power guy.
Right.
Speed, elevation, everything. I think he's got an easy two. Jacob Toppin, who had the turnover, made up for the play.
Oh, now it's Kentucky on a 6-0 run. Pippen stepped on the baseline. That's just an unforced error on Scottie Pippen Jr., and that's 7 turnovers on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, can't happen. He did say he was pushed a little bit, but can't happen. He's too good for those plays to happen, but they happen more times than they should. Matchup zone defense.
How does Kentucky go against it?
Keep an out shooter, see if you get a guy in the middle of the floor, and you got your shooter spread.
Better get out on this guy. Grady inside to Tshiebwe, reverse and fouled. Somehow got matched up on Studi, and that's a mismatch.
Tough, tried to change the defense quickly. One guy was in man, the others were in the zone. And if you pound it inside to Tshiebwe, he's quick enough to make the quick spin and not wait for a double team.
I think Oscar Tshiebwe, regardless of who your rooting interest is, fans of college basketball are falling in love with this young man. And the more you learn about him, I remember my first interaction with Oscar Tshiebwe all the way back in late November. We talked about what motivates him. Why is he such a good rebounder? And you look at the company there with Tim Duncan and Blake Griffin. He says he thinks of his family every time he goes out there and tries to pick up a rebound. He wants to provide a better life for his family back in the Congo. And for him, I mean, it's workmanlike. This is not just a game. He thinks more of what's riding on every game that he plays, every moment of every game that he plays in.
Yeah, he's been a true joy in a Wildcat uniform, not only for his teammates and coaches, but for the fans watching.
No question. Timeout on the floor, 7:50 to go. Kentucky on a run of their own, up by 3. Time to check out the Mayhem moment, brought to you by Allstate.
Pure mayhem, right? From the moment of the steal. Now this is a great steal, and this is going to be an easy 2. Now wait a second. Let's go the other way, and you think he made a great block. What can go on this side? The bump, the turn, the net.
All right.
That's 4 different points. Free throw made 5 different points, 5-point swing.
That's 2 scoops of mayhem on one play is what we just saw right there. Mike Morgan, John Sunvold. Speaking of 2 scoops, this was supposed to be a doubleheader today on the SEC Network. You see Vanderbilt had a 9-0 run. Now you got Kentucky on a 6-0 run. It is a game of runs here at Rupp Arena. But because of the weather back in Como, an area you're familiar with, Sonny, they played early. They played at 3 o'clock today in Columbia, Missouri. A good matchup between Mizzou and Florida. Florida really needed that game. They wind up winning it down the stretch, final seconds. Tyree Appleby put on a show.
First of all, I apologize to my wife, Tamara, that I'm not there to shovel 8 inches of snow off the driveway. But, yeah, Tyree Appleby was fabulous down the stretch. Confident to go to the free throw line every time and knock him in.
You see Joe Lenardi right now has Florida as a 12. You don't gain a ton with that win, but you could lose a lot if you drop that game if you're Florida.
3-2 zone defense.
Washington on a runner, gets the friendly bounce.
It shows zone and they stay in zone, but they've got a lot of man principles. The only thing about that, when you do that, sometimes you give up seams and drives, and they did that time.
One of the things we always hear from opposing coaches when they take on Vanderbilt, and they say, head coach Jerry Stackhouse and the Commodores, they run a lot of good stuff. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of things they put in. So as an opponent, you don't even prepare for all of it because there's too much stuff to give your guys. You just want to give them basics. Now, on the other side for Vanderbilt, I'm not sure all the time they can grasp what a guy like Stackhouse knows in his mind. Right? He's played at the highest level. He's been the best there's ever been. He's been an all-star. He's probably a Hall of Fame guy. He's unbelievable. So when you pile all that in, it could be tough on younger players.
There's Jerry Stackhouse, an All-American at North Carolina. How about this little hoop scoop for you? The only teammate to outscore Michael Jordan in a single season. That was back in '04. That's the Wizards' Michael Jordan.
You know, that's a great thing to put up there, except I hope Mike didn't see it because he's going to come back out and redeem himself.
He is competitive enough to do that.
I know how he thinks.
He's got busy things to worry about. Charlotte Hornets are playing some good basketball this year in the NBA. Vanderbilt a little bit out of sorts right now on offense, and that will continue. Another turnover on the Commodores.
And for Jordan Wright, you can't get the ball stuck on one side. He kept trying to get it to Malora Brown. It wasn't there. Then he forced it again, threw it away. There's guys open across. When you go down the middle, always look across. Get that ball moving to the other side of the floor.
Well, that's a telling stat, isn't it? There in the lower left. 1 assist for Vanderbilt, 9 turnovers. It's awfully hard to win a game like that, and yet they're only down 5.
Yeah, hanging. Best thing they've done so far is they've really not let Kentucky get on a huge run and allow them to just sprint and score easy baskets.
Ty. Bounce pass to Tshiebwe. Tried to find Brooks on the weak side, who finally collects and banks it home.
What could have been a turnover, Mike, was great hands by Keon Brooks Jr. That ball was loose, and he snatched it and laid it in.
I was talking to Cal today about Keon Brooks and what he provides for this team. I made the analogy, I mean, they're different positions, different kind of players overall, but for this team, he's almost like their Darius Miller of 2012. Like that whole team was what? Anthony Davis, Kid Gilchrist.
Yeah, great
but
point.
he was a senior, and he was the glue guy that did so many things well to help them win games. That's what Keon Brooks could be for this team.
And we call them difference makers, right? May not be the superstar, but the difference makers of maybe winning a championship and not.
Washington had that one erased by the 7-footer Robbins.
Wow, and look at him run the floor.
Remember, he was top 10 in the country in block shots a year ago.
Well, I like what I see. Now, this is the first game he's played, but I sure like what I see.
Face and fire. Good looking shot, just left it a little bit short. Kentucky on a 10-0 run.
Dare I say it again, the big kid's not bashful. Checks in twice, first possessions both times.
Tshiebwe had the first one blocked. A lot of contact, another jump ball, and that'll go to Vanderbilt.
That's good weak side defense. You know what happens. You're putting it inside and you're driving hard. Next time through, I think Mintz will take it. In his mind, you take a snapshot to go, okay, where are they coming from?
Right.
I know I've got Oscar, but you know who they came off? They came off of Grady on the other side. So that's what you take, kind of a Polaroid in your mind and say, okay, I know where they're coming. We'll get them next time.
That is a big-time shot by Scottie Pippen. Twisting, turning, and banking it. 9 points for Pippen.
And doesn't he make it look easy?
Yeah.
But that's a guy that can probably play at the next level.
It's the body control. It's the change of pace. Some guys are simply wired to score, and he's one of them. Watch this play.
He has no problem getting to the paint and then finishing. Doesn't matter right-handed, doesn't matter left-handed. Rarely, once in a while, he'll blow by and make it a quick layup. But what he normally does is he slows it down so the defender gets in a hurry, kind of leaves his feet early, and Scottie just kind of glides in and then lays it either around, over the top. He's got a variety of ways to finish. He's fun to watch.
Pippen was quoted as saying he's always dreamed of playing at Rupp Arena, and I mentioned, you know, technically could be his last go around here. He is a junior, certainly has eyes on the next level, and would love to put on a record performance here and give Vanderbilt their first win against Kentucky in 6 years. And you see what he's done. He always, Coach Cal talked about that with us as well. He said, that kid always steps up against us. 19 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Every time he plays Kentucky, good numbers.
You know, I had his game Saturday, as I mentioned, 23 points, 9 assists, and only two turnovers. That's the kind of game he plays night in, night out. In this league, it's not an easy thing to do.
Despite the last name and the family connection to the former Hall of Famer, he was not highly recruited. Bryce Drew actually signed Scottie Pippen Jr., and there were not a whole lot of schools battling for his services.
And Stack had to really re-recruit him this past year because he was thinking, A, could he get to the NBA? B, the transfer portal. Well, everybody was entering the transfer portal. And so they re-recruited him, thought they could get more help for him. And they have. Chapman has picked up some slack. Now he's been injured most of the season.
7-point game, 4 minutes remaining first half. Mintz on a rise and fire. Silky smooth with that jump shot, Davion Mintz.
Two guys came out offensively. Grady on one side of the shooter. Pippen did not leave him at all, shirt to shirt. Mintz came out the other side, got the jump shot. Not a good pass.
Tried to rifle it into Robbins, a little bit behind him. Mintz feeling it. Mintz got it from 3. Pippen, a silencer on the other end.
You know, last 2 possessions, Pippen makes a pass that's not catchable. Wheeler makes a pass right into shooter's breadbasket.
Tshiebwe, an and one. Oscar Tshiebwe says, I'm more than just a rebounder. I am a force down low, scoring the basketball.
Kentucky now on a little bit of a roll because they're stretching this team. Mintz from the outside. Now look at Wheeler drop it off to the other side. Mintz again. You've got him stretch on the outside. What do you end with? Let's go inside the Big O. Easy 2. Kentucky on a roll. Say that again.
Out of 10 shots, how many would it take for you to beat Kell and Grady, and could you do it?
Well, I'll make 10. I don't know what he'll make. He makes 10.
I heard that, Sonny.
Hey, if he makes 10, then we're going to overtime. I'll just put it that way.
Fish, you put that on a silver platter for the normally modest and humble John Sunvold. That was a thing of beauty.
Hey, it's what they paid me to do. I was paid to do that.
Oh, goodness, what they pay. Well, they don't pay. He's got an NIL deal like all these guys do for Kentucky.
That first shot he made, he adjusted his ball in midair, which is beautiful when a shooter sees to do that. It's the spacing and how comfortable he is at the range he shoots it in. Now, he's had some games where I think he'll take some, well, let's not say bad shots because they want him to shoot everything. But if he's in a flow, it's really good. When we had him at A&M, kind of it was rushed.
Yeah.
Shooters that get rushed, it's not as good. If you wait for the right moments and when he gets it, my goodness, it's a thing of beauty. And then what this team does, they just explode offensively.
When his feet are square, I expect it to go in every time.
Yeah, he's got great footwork. Learned that working the Curry brothers camps.
That form is about as pure as it gets. Here we have Kentucky now up by 13.
Now and again, different set, run different things, come out one side. Here comes Pippen Jr. on the other side. Turn the corner.
Pippen can't connect. Ty gliding into front court, finding Brooks. Brooks, they left him alone. He can hit that.
And where Vandy's been successful, Mike, is they've at least gotten 5 jerseys back defensively. They didn't communicate that time. Brooks has to make that jump shot.
2.5 minutes to go. Pippen bumped on the perimeter by Ty. And that is the 7th team foul, I believe, on Kentucky. Second one on Washington. So a 1-and-1 now for Scottie Pippen Jr. 6'3" junior guard. Shoots 73% from the line. Number 2 scorer in the league behind J.D. Notae. We've got some fun players this year that any given night can give you 30. Pippen is obviously one. Notae is another. Auburn's got a couple guys that can go off on any given night. How about this? Can we finally start, Sonny, putting a line of demarcation? I mean, I love the middle and the depth of this league, but Auburn and Kentucky right now are at a whole other level.
Well, I don't know. I think I might have said it early. I think they're the two best teams in college basketball.
Yeah.
They've met once. Maybe they'll meet in the SEC tournament, the championship, and then if they do that, I think the third meeting would be in the Final Four, and hopefully the championship game, depending on where they're seated and in what region.
What a classic that would be. An SEC triumphant on another SEC Big 12 challenge. It's the second straight year, winning it 6-4. Of course, Kentucky had the signature win, blowing out Kansas on the road. 3 to shoot. Grady from the corner. My goodness, how in the world do you defend that? Woo. 12 points for Grady on 4 highlight threes.
And when you make a shot like that, look at Grady's energy on the defensive end. He's guarding 3 guys, bouncing around.
Little extra juice, and then Brooks has returned to sender on Chapman.
And how do you make this shot? There's one of the key things people forget. He's 6'5". He's got good footwork. Look at the hard bounce, the big step. He can elevate, and because of his size advantage, a couple inches higher than Pippen, Pippen can't get. When a shooter leans his back backwards a little bit, you create an angle that then your shot comes out at a higher launch. Can't get to it.
And even though his body is fading, the feet are square there.
Yeah, it's fine. Shoulders are good.
Yep. Shot clock at 2. Pippen, long range. Got it! Scottie Pippen. Oh, goodness.
We're lined up, and I said, that's right on the mark.
Oh, we'll have to get the tape measure out, maybe 35 feet or so.
And here's what you're happy for if you're in this crowd. You're watching a great player play.
Yeah.
I know fans get disappointed when they go, but admire some greatness even from an opponent.
Pippen with 14 now to lead all scorers. Grady's putting on a three-point clinic with 12. Mintz with 11. Brown picking up his second foul.
How deep is this? Kind of the push shot, kind of the normal shots that we now take. I shouldn't say we, not me, but guys take now. Steph Curry, more of a push jump shot, right? You shoot it early so you have more range. It's not the classic jump shot is Devin Booker. He rises, gets to the top, and then bam, right in your eye. It's a different style of shot. Both are very effective.
Well, Cal told us that we know Pippen's going to get his, but no layups, no set shots. Make him work. Make him really grind it out if he's going to get 20, 25, 30 points tonight.
The frustration for opposing coaches, it never looks like Pippen Jr. is working that hard.
Right.
He's got that cool demeanor. Doesn't sweat, doesn't worry about things. You can't get him off his game.
1 out of 2 for Tshiebwe. The lead is 14 for Kentucky. Final minute and change here of half number 1. Largest lead for the Wildcats.
Keep an eye on Mintz, chasing, got there, good defense.
Tracking down the rebound is Robbins. And a corner 3 knocked down by Jordan Wright. That's the guy, when it's not Pippen, Jordan Wright is really the most dangerous offensive weapon, and at times he shows it, at times not so much, but they need him tonight.
His progression has been terrific, though, when you watch college players, right? This is what you expect of a college player. He's now in his junior season. First year about 4 points a game, last year about 9, now he's above 12, right? The progression of his ability to take it off the dribble, beat you, the ability to go outside and make three-point shots. He's now progressed from a 65% free throw shooter a year ago and the same as a freshman to 82% this year, right? It's college basketball, how you want to see guys improve and work, and he's really terrific.
He's one of those guys, too, taking advantage of all the resources. Saw a nutritionist and worked out with his conditioning coach in the offseason. Dropped 20 pounds of dead weight, so he's leaner and much more effective.
He's got a terrific size, right? 6'6", 215. It's a size that can play multiple positions defensively to help your college coach. Offensively, shoots it outside, can work inside. So there will be a place that he plays to get paid. I don't know if that's in this country or where, but he's going to get paid somewhere to play basketball.
Looked like Jermaine Man was a little bit hobbled on that last play. They go to the bench for the Commodores. Final 30 seconds of the half. Brooks has it knocked out of bounds. It remains Kentucky basketball. 16 on the shot clock.
It's a good matchup, Brooks and Wright, two active bodies.
And you see Man on the bench. Looks okay. Dante Allen making a cameo here in the first half. Three-point specialist.
Yeah, let's talk about a shooter. Now, he has struggled making shots in games this season.
You and I had him in his coming out party in Starkville last year.
Yeah, I always think of Las Vegas because, hey, it's 7-11, right? He was 7 out of 11, rolling the dice. He was so good that night.
Oh, he won the game for him. Tshiebwe inside, goes to work and takes it right on the 7-footer with a running hook shot.
Mike, he turned the left shoulder into the center, so he got Robbins off his base.
8 points, 9 rebounds for Tshiebwe. I mentioned this earlier. It's not just rebounding for Tshiebwe. He's the number 5 scorer in the league at over 16 points a game. Number 1 in field goal percentage. He's skilled.
Okay, so when he turns that left shoulder, see how it got into the chest of Robbins? That throws the shot blocker back a little bit. If he tries a jump hook and doesn't do that, he's going to have trouble making it. The turn into the big guy all of a sudden creates space of 3 or 4 feet, and that's how Oscar scored.
He's only 6'9", Tshiebwe is, taking it there on the 7-footer. And there you see, as I mentioned, I think everybody is so obsessed with the rebounding, and it's hard not to be. He's putting up record numbers. You forget what a scoring weapon he has been this year.
Well, how crazy for this Kentucky team. We had Brooks go for 27 at Kansas. That's the 4th guy over 25 points for Kentucky.
Right.
We've had Wheeler 26 against Carolina, Ty Washington 28 against Tennessee, Brooks 27, 30 for Oscar against this Vanderbilt team. And the only guy that's not above 25, it's Grady at 23 in the high point.
That's right. And the only guy on that list who's not a guard, top 5 scorers, Oscar Tshiebwe. The rest are guards. Should be the final shot for Vanderbilt. Where do they go? How about a steal for Brooks? Out of bounds with 5 seconds left.
They ran a good play, and again, spot up quick shooters. Trey Thomas, they left him alone. Chapman did not see Brooks firing through.
Well, they say the most dangerous guy on a play like this is the inbounder. Pippen's going to inbound it. Maybe return pass to number 2 in black.
Still got plenty of time, though, for him to come off. Here he comes.
There's the pass. There's the return to Pippen. There's the jumper. And there's the bucket. Just how they drew it up. 16 points for Pippen in the first half to lead all scores. And that'll cut the Kentucky lead to 10. What a first half.
Great first half. And Pippen, this is what pros do. You bump into the big guy, step back, let it go, turn to the bench. Might have had a little wink for Cal. Let's go to halftime.
Let's give them 3 on that. Let's give them 17 at the half to lead all scores. Entertaining first half in Lexington as we send you to Darinoka. Damian Fishback. Back at Rupp Arena, an entertaining first half. The Kentucky Wildcats lead it by 10, 41-31. Mike Morgan, John Sunvold. Kentucky undefeated at home this year. Vanderbilt looking for what would be easily their biggest win of the year. John Sunvold, you know a thing or two about deep shooting. You know a thing or two about 3-point shooting. If you like 3-point shots, highlight threes, you come to the right place tonight.
Mike, it's why I show up. I mean, really, let's be honest. It's why I show up. And when I watch guys warm up, I'm kind of talking to them, say, hey, why don't you make some tonight? Well, they have. Kentucky shooting it great. And Grady, catch, release, all net. They better get close to him in the second half, especially in this building. Mintz came off the bench, 11 points, hit a couple threes. Instant energy. And he's a veteran guy. He's been around a long time. And on the Vanderbilt side, scouting report says you better guard this guy a little more closely. Pippen, 1 buzzer beater, another buzzer beater, 17 points in the first half, 6 for 11 from the field. He does it night in, night out.
He really does, and he had 10 of the final 13 for Vanderbilt. It looked like Kentucky was starting to put this one away. They have the ability to bury you offensively in a game like this, but then really, when they had to, Vanderbilt went to number 2. Scottie Pippen Jr. made it a 10-point game.
Vanderbilt has to take care of the basketball. They can't have the silly mistakes. You won't win in this building if you do.
Meanwhile, Kentucky, normal balanced attack. Grady led the way with 12, but Tshiebwe was great with 11. Brooks, Washington, all contributing in that first half.
Ty Washington now guarding Pippen. See if Scottie Pippen Jr. tries to score early in the second half. It was easy in the first half. I think he's got to get his team going right away.
They tried to go to right down low, and Tshiebwe read it. Played some free safety. Grady on a 3. In and out.
I'm going to give him 1.5. How's that happen?
That was halfway down.
Yeah.
Pippen, acrobatic shot, 19 for the SEC's #2 scorer.
He took the bump, double pump, finished with the left hand. Back to the basket.
Yeah, so creative. Again, as you mentioned, not overly big, maybe not the strongest guard in this league, but so good at the rim.
But the lower body is so solid. Good pass there.
Making it look easy.
Pippen's lower body is so solid that you don't bump him off his base. I mean, you just don't push him around. And then he just kind of toys and plays at his pace. Good pass.
Inside to Ware Brown, give Pippen the dime. Back to an 8-point game here at Rupp Arena. Vanderbilt comes in 3-5 in conference play. Kentucky, of course, 6-2 off of that huge win over the Kansas Jayhawks.
Severe Wheeler had a quiet first half.
Brooks coming off a career-high 27. Those were the shots he made all night long at Allen Fieldhouse.
And they have not been very pretty tonight.
Yeah.
They've been ugly.
Coming off a little bit strange off the hand. Wheeler in transition to Grady. Grady knows his game. Go back to that three-point line.
It's like driving in a snowstorm. He thought, no, I'm not supposed to go there.
That's
I'll just
right.
back it out.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that. What did John Calipari tell us today at shoot-around? He said his right hits the 3. Calipari was talking about how he tells players all the time, the NBA is full of 95% role players.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't think that you have to be scoring all over the place to make it to the next level.
You know what? Do what you do well. That's no different than Division I basketball, though. Do what you do well. If you try to do too much, it doesn't seem to work. We've got the entire coaching staff off the Vandy bench. Take a look at Pippen. The way he finishes, it's not easy. And again, it's back to how he plays and the pace he plays.
Everybody seems mad here.
Yeah, everybody's upset.
Jerry Stackhouse to John Calipari to some of the players.
We had the entire Vandy coaching bench off.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh.
That's going to be called every time.
Double foul. Vandy didn't like the double foul.
Yeah. Well, because if you're Ware Brown, you're saying, well, wait a minute now. I just took a heavyweight shot from Tshiebwe, and you're going to give me a foul?
Yeah, thanks. Can I have some more?
Yeah, right.
Why would you like me to guard?
I mean,
that's usually when I played in college, you would ask the official, how would you like me to guard?
Right.
And then they kind of had a look on their face like, no, how would you like me to guard
do it?
And all of a sudden, you kind of got the official thinking differently than they were.
Yeah, so you're Ware Brown. You take the shot there, and I mean, I don't know.
I'm not sure when the whistle blew. So there's that shot.
All right, that's clearly a foul.
And then there's the push, and then there's the hook.
All right, just got confirmation from Don Daly. So it's not your typical double foul. Flagrant foul on Tshiebwe, common foul on Ware Brown. You got that?
Yeah, I do.
You don't seem like you buy the verdict.
No, I do.
I mean, I think that's the right call.
Yeah, that's the right call.
I don't think anything
right
Ware Brown did was flagrant. That's why we go to replay. That's why we take the time to get it right.
Anytime there's a delay in the game and the crowd doesn't like the call, usually it brings a home crowd heavily into a game.
Right. All right, now that we got all that cleaned up, meanwhile,
let's go back to the matchup.
Yeah.
We talked about this matchup at the opener. Ty Washington guarding Pippen. Washington, freshman, Pippen junior, a master on the offensive end.
And this is a 4-point game. At times it's felt like Kentucky has dominated from the opening tip.
And we know Vanderbilt is a dangerous team because of the ability on the offensive end.
Tshiebwe just corralled his 11th rebound. He averages over 15. Tshiebwe bullish in the paint, blocked by Melora Brown, but a foul.
How about they went right back to the same play?
Yeah.
They went right back in to Tshiebwe being guarded by Melora Brown. Low post, put it inside. There's the bump, the turn.
Yeah, they called that on Pippen.
Yeah. And here's the hard part. If you're a guard trapping from the top, you can't let the big step between you. I'm going to say this. Easier said than done.
Yeah, especially when the big is Tshiebwe.
Guards hate to get a big guy turning on you with your chest.
Yeah, Tshiebwe's 6'9", 255 and sports a six-pack. And I don't mean cans.
And Pippen doesn't need the wind knocked out of him to sit out
he
for
doesn't.
about 20 minutes.
No, not at all. A healthy distance is just fine when you're going up against number 34 in white, Oscar Tshiebwe, former West Virginia Mountaineer.
Pretty impressive numbers, though, for the year for the free throw line, 73%. That's pretty good.
Yeah, especially for a big guy, typically lesser numbers. Chapman just hounded all the way into front court.
And that's where Wheeler's better here than he was at Georgia. He's a better defender.
Chapman gets it to Melora Brown, an and one, and a nice play because Xavier Wheeler was absolutely suffocating Rodney Chapman.
How do you make something out of nothing? Right here, the dribble gets loose. What a terrific bounce pass. He goes up. A lot of guys would try to throw it a little higher for a lob. Watch this, the bounce, and it's a hard bounce so that it's right into the chest of Melora Brown. Good hands by Melora Brown.
This young man, senior out of Lorton, Virginia, transfer from Rice, has really given them everything you can ask for. And they don't have a lot of size to complement him down low, particularly before Liam Robbins was healthy enough to play starting in this game. And he's given them a lot of blue-collar minutes this year.
Mike, what we now need is better flow to this game.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of stoppage. Players are, as a player, what you don't like is every possession there's a stoppage. There has been no back and forth, running, good pace.
We had it in the first half.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And then the wheels just kind of came to a screeching
5 seconds.
halt. Grady just beats the 5 count into Toppin. Do you like the full court pressure from Vandy?
Well, I do, but you got to be careful. If Wheeler breaks it, he's going to attack it on the other end. But Vandy got back quickly.
And now a mouthpiece on the court. Don Daly sees that and blows the whistle. Get that thing out of there.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know if it came off someone's shoe or something in the first half too.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what that was.
Wheeler takes it strong. No. Tshiebwe fighting Melora Brown for the board. Jump ball, and it's going to be Vanderbilt basketball.
Hey, let's get some ice packs for Melora Brown. Hey, the young man is fighting one of the best in the business.
Ice packs, sauna, chiropractor, you name it. When you go head-to-head with Tshiebwe for 30 minutes, you need all the above.
What good work inside.
He'll get a breather. Liam Robbins playing his first game of the year. The talented transfer out of the University of Minnesota back in for Vanderbilt.
John Calipari keeps switching guys on Pippen. Keeps someone fresh on him. Mintz checked in the ball game now, draws the assignment.
Pittman out in the corner at the top of your screen.
The closer Vandy stays, the more dangerous because of a superstar that they have on that offensive end.
Pretty play, a pretty shot by a guy we highlighted early, Jordan Wright. And a foul on the floor on Vanderbilt. You know, you mentioned the pace of this game, how it's dramatically changed. I think this is what Vanderbilt wants.
Yeah, but it's getting a little chippy. Studi, I don't think he tried to trip.
It's getting chippy. It's getting choppy. It's getting close. Commodores only down by a point. Now Kentucky has led this game virtually throughout, but all of a sudden a 12-3 start for the Commodores here in the second half.
5 of 7 from the field in the second half, and Kentucky only 1 of 6. Starts with their leader, right? He makes different kinds of moves, different types of shots, and when he does that, he draws attention. There's a double team, there's the assist, comes down the lane. Here's Chapman with a good pass. A higher percentage of shots this half by Vanderbilt. Shot attempts, right? A higher percentage, better looks,
right,
than Kentucky's getting on their end.
Oscar Tshiebwe doing his normal rebounding clinic. He's now got double-digit rebounds in 20 of 22 games this season. He's got 7 points and 11 rebounds, and it hasn't only been Pippen for Vanderbilt. Pippen, yes, leads the way with 19, but how about the play of Jordan Wright? 14 points on 5 of 6 from the field.
This season, he has a better supporting cast, and Jerry Stackhouse knows that. He likes his team when they all get healthy, and it's the first time the big center Robbins has played. He thinks he's got a team that can compete and play with anybody.
Well, they're certainly competing tonight. Now the question is, can they withstand another Kentucky run? You know it's coming. Here's Mintz on a 3. Pick your poison.
Gosh, defensively, Chapman, Pippen, they don't communicate, so they both take one guy. Mintz gets open just for a split second.
You know, Wheeler and Ty have been quiet tonight, so then you get Mintz off the bench. What does he do? He gives you 14. Turnover.
Yeah, Robbins, you can't set a screen by trying to play football. I know it's signing day today, but he put a solid screen up top. Okay, so watch where the two defenders, they go together. Nobody takes Mintz, right? Lack of communication. Goes out the other side. Just a split second. You're beat.
You mentioned signing day. Congratulations to Kentucky. Another top 15 signing class. Mark Stoops coming off a 10-win season. Yeah, he's got it rolling.
Yeah, this isn't a basketball school only.
No, it is not. It is football and basketball. Kentucky having another great season on the gridiron and hoping for a Final Four on the hardwood. It would be the 5th Final Four under Coach Calipari, and they're in search of their 50th regular season SEC championship. It'll come down in all likelihood to Kentucky and Auburn.
I don't really know my 7-footers, Mike, but 7 foot 250. Robbins looks bigger than that. Like, he is so tall.
He is
long and big. Wow.
He's the first guy you have come off the bus, right?
Yes. He's massive. Sets big screens. Physical inside.
Wheeler navigating up top. Mintz has the hot hand. In and out. Just a 4-point game. Chapman.
The hard part, Robbins hasn't played much. Does he know all the plays, right? Do you get sets that you're a little slow getting into? So that makes you back it out and have to just run high screen and roll.
Shot clock under 10 for Wright. Down low. Knocked away.
Should have been a lob pass for a dunk.
Wheeler, Euro step, no, tapped in, yes.
Because of Chapman's decision not to throw it up above the rim so his big can dunk it, it goes the other way.
Jerry Stackhouse is irate. I think he wanted a foul on the other end when Liam Robbins goes up for that shot down low. He thought there was contact.
So take a look at this. This pass, it goes up high above the rim.
Right.
Now all of a sudden he dunks it, brings it down. You bring the ball down and Tshiebwe can get his hands on it. Now, was this offensive goaltending as the bench thought? Ooh, close.
I think Jerry's mad on both ends.
Yeah.
So now he's got a tee.
And the coat's off.
The coat's off. And it's when it's Jerry Stackhouse, you know it's a really nice custom-made coat.
But isn't that what you want? Now here, take a look. Ooh, yeah.
That should have been basket interference. They gave it to Keon Brooks, incidentally. That's clearly in the cylinder.
So this is what you want if you're a coach. You're on the road, toughest place to play in the world, right? Best place to play. You're now down 7. It was closer, but your guys know that you're fighting, and they're in it. The pace is for them. They're shooting the ball well. Now they've got to clean up mistakes. Harder to do because Kentucky now is going to turn it up a notch, and we'll see if Vanderbilt can handle it.
Got Mintz guarding Pippen. You know there's going to be a screen coming here soon.
And Robbins has to be careful.
Screen and then dive and then pop out by Robbins. Pippen, meanwhile, driving and just stepped right on the baseline. That's the second time he's done that tonight, just unaware of where he is on the floor.
And he has 6 turnovers in the ballgame. Just by himself.
Yeah, and that's, again, that's the knock. That's been the knock this year.
Yeah.
16 turnovers on Vanderbilt as a team. Brooks, the reigning SEC Player of the Week. He has it pop out. Right, picked up by Grady. Rifles into the corner. 3 ball. Off the mark. Robbins fighting Tshiebwe. Tshiebwe wins that battle as he usually does. Mintz step in 3. No. Well, there's all bodies falling all over the place. A lot of contact down low right now.
I will say this. If you're big and you have to guard Tshiebwe, it is work on both ends of the floor. Robbins might only play a few minutes, but he's exhausted out there.
Pippen, too strong on the 3. 13 rebounds now for Tshiebwe.
Tshiebwe's in such great shape. If you're Kentucky, keep making the big of Vandy, keep moving defensively. He's tired.
Wheeler probes the baseline, dumps it off to Tshiebwe, and this time he has it knocked free.
Yeah, great hands by Jordan Wright.
Wright thought about it, and instead will take it from 15.
Tired bodies.
Now both teams looking a little bit gassed on this sequence.
I always wonder, why does everybody let Wheeler go left?
Right.
I mean, they really do. He controls it left, goes left. They can go right.
Mintz.
Oh my. That's I think flagrant there. Because he grabbed it.
Yeah.
Came down.
Yep. It's the fourth foul on him.
Almost looked like he grabbed his neck. Smart play by Mintz. Going to go to the big. Yeah. Might be all right.
Mintz at the line, 14 points. He's 1 for 1 from the stripe tonight. Wholesale substitutions for Vanderbilt. And Laura Brown will come in, so he gets a breather, and now we'll have to battle Tshiebwe. Does Tshiebwe ever get tired?
Looks like he's got about 4% body fat, right? I mean, and it's just constant motion on both ends. That's why bigs get tired playing against him. You're blocking him out all the time.
I feel like if Ivan Drago played college basketball, he would play the game similarly to Oscar Tshiebwe. And if you haven't seen Rocky IV, rent it. 12 minutes remaining, Kentucky up by 9.
Laura Brown not a threat outside to shoot the basketball.
Pippen. Drive and kick, sets up an open 3. Knocked down that time by Jermaine Mann, the sophomore.
And only his second 3 of the season. He made his first one on Saturday, now 2 of 11 from 3.
Back to a 6-point game. That's a wild shot by Wheeler, but there to bail him out is Tshiebwe.
Kentucky's had a tough second half shooting the basketball. 3 for 13.
Wheeler with 7. Mintz with 5. Brooks with 2. Got it! Oh my goodness! A turnaround deep 2 near the buzzer.
That's what we see when the buzzer's winding down. No thought process. Catch it, turn, shoot it.
Thinking gets in the way sometimes, right?
Well, big bucket.
And now a foul on Kentucky will take us to break. And I think everybody could use one. 11:04 to go. Wildcats up by 8.
Think of all the shots that Brooks has missed, kind of point blank. This one, no time to think. Fade away deep, all cotton.
Well, the American public clamors for it every Wednesday night. It is the award-winning segment produced by John Sunvold. Sunny Side Up. What are we learning here? Drop some knowledge.
Well, the key is we're only frying one side, so it's all about Kentucky. We're not flipping this thing over. Land-grant institution, 1862. The Morrill Act made the United States government gave land. That's how public schools. Kentucky's one of the 10 in this conference to be a land-grant institution. The 2015 team, when I stood on the court and we opened and we saw most talented team I've ever seen that did not win the championship. And then I start thinking, who else is on? I go back, 1991 UNLV had 3 guys in the lottery pick. They didn't make it. 83 Houston Cougars. That team beat my team in the Sweet 16. UCLA back in 74, another talented team. Indiana Hoosiers in 75 only lost 1 game before they went undefeated because Scott May broke his wrist.
That's
and
right.
Kentucky beat him in Elite 8. Anyway,
I love it.
Last one, Grady and Brooks. If these 2 guys play well, Kentucky can win a national championship.
And
if they get on a roll, those 2 guys, we know what the rest they have. They can win a national championship.
That's something that Coach Cal told us too, right? Because you know what you're getting with everybody else.
So remember, fried on one side. Don't flip it. If you don't want it running, cover it a little bit. Perfect sunny side up.
Oh, I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. By the way, you mentioned that 2015 team. Hard to believe that was 7 years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. That was kind of the 2-platoon team. They go 38-0. They wind up losing to Wisconsin in the Final Four. Think about this for a moment. So Ty Washington has been the SEC Freshman of the Week 5 times. Last guy to do that, Devin Booker. Devin Booker was on that 2015 team.
Did not start.
He won the 6th Man of the Year award. Devin Booker, who's lighting up the NBA at about 26 points a game, was off the bench on that 2015 Kentucky squad.
I just remember my first time doing a game with that team. And that's back in the day. We kind of maybe had an open out front, right? We were standing and we had
stick bikes.
And they came out, warmed up, and I went, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh, it's insane.
And just enjoyed that whole season of how they played.
A lot of fun to watch, and of course it was Heartbreak Hotel in the Final Four. Sometimes that's the way the ball bounces. I'll tell you what else was Heartbreak Hotel. You and I had a lot of Kentucky games 2 years ago, and that game was clicking. That team was clicking late. Go to the SEC tournament. All 3 guards are playing lights out. Quickly and Hagens and Maxey. And then what happens, of course, at the SEC tournament, you and I were there and watched COVID run its course and stop the sports world as we know it. But that team, you could make an argument, was Final Four good. The question now becomes, is this team going to be Final Four good? And we're now being told that there was a flagrant foul at the top of the key. This was called while we were away. Let's see.
Wow, the referees are earning their keep. We're going to see the elbow by Man. Flagrant 1 right there. I just got the explanation. Flagrant 1 on Man.
Right.
Free throws by Kentucky, and they'll get the ball.
Choppy second half.
The referees are earning their keep tonight, partner.
I mean, there's a lot of monitor work here tonight, and you've needed it because we've had a lot of contact above the neck, and that's always going to draw some reviews and potential flagrant fouls.
Now here's where Vanderbilt has to keep their cool.
Right.
Yeah, you feel like you're not getting the right whistle. Right, you're a visitor. We get all that. You can't do these things because when you're in striking distance, you're only in striking distance for so long. Right. You can't let Kentucky get to a free throw that are free and then get the ball out when you had the basketball.
Well, I mean, to go back to your key point on this game, you can live with missed shots. It's the 18 turnovers. If Vanderbilt doesn't come up with this road upset, that's what's going to do them in.
And I'm not saying the whistle's good or bad. I'm just saying when you go on the road, it might not go your way once in a while. That's okay.
That's the nature of the beast.
But if you let it bug you and let it drive you, all of a sudden this 10-point game can get to 20 in a hurry.
Meanwhile, Brooks that now has 7 of the last 9 points. He'll get a breather. Tshiebwe never gets a breather. Toppin goes top floor for the follow-up slam, and a rare miss by the high wire act that is Toppin. Pippen, good ball movement. And a teardrop in the lane by Trey Thomas, the sophomore.
A good rotation by the Wildcats. I think it was Mintz that got to Trey Thomas quickly because Thomas really catch and release guy, but he had to put it on the floor, made it tough for him.
Thomas led all freshmen of the SEC last year in three-point percentage at 39.8%.
Okay, so what we saw last time and what we're going to see now. Pippen controlling the basketball, making plays for either himself or teammates.
Up top, Thomas. Heat check. Got it. Thomas. Back-to-back shots, and Vanderbilt has closed to within 5.
He has made 31 threes this season, so he's comfortable coming off screens and shooting.
And now Tshiebwe whistled for the offensive foul. It has gotten really physical down low.
Boy, I worried about Vandy losing their cool. But it's Kentucky. They've given up 2 baskets. I don't know about that.
It's the 3rd foul on Tshiebwe.
Tshiebwe trying to walk to a certain spot.
And now Jerry Stackhouse just saw the replay and said, I want a monitor review. I saw contact above the neck. Why don't we get a flagrant foul? Now Jerry basically worked his way into a replay right here.
You don't have a flight tonight, do you, to catch or anything?
All my flights have been canceled, my friend. I might be hitchhiking home.
Okay, so take a look. And Malore Brown is trying to get into the psyche of Tshiebwe, right? You're not playing. There's no play right here. So you just keep trying to get into where Tshiebwe's trying to walk.
Right.
Unfortunately, now your face got in front of a forearm. Be interesting to see what they come up with. Well, because that's a hard one.
This could be the 3rd flagrant foul. Yeah, I mean, again, it's above the neck.
Yeah, you're right.
That's pretty much clear cut by definition of the rule. I don't think it was any malicious attempt, but it really doesn't matter. So now we've had 3 flagrant fouls, 2 technical fouls, and it just continues to get more and more physical.
So Malore Brown is a 44% free throw shooter. He's 1 of 3 tonight. He does not like this here.
Yeah.
A bad shooter does not like being all by himself on a free throw line. See if he can convert. And he's holding the ball to make the crowd get loud.
A deep breath.
I love it.
Dribble, crouch.
Nice.
There you go. That looked like a 90% shooter.
Pretty sweet.
This would cut it to 3.
Most of the Kentucky fans did not know Malore Brown before tonight. But Quentin Malore Brown has now become a disliked player to the Kentucky fans.
Yeah, I give the young man credit because
what a battle.
If you're going to go blow for blow with Tshiebwe, like we said, I mean, that's going to be one bruised, tired body at the end of the night, but he has played about as tough as you could possibly ask him to.
You know, when I talked to Stack, you know, you talk about different guys. He just said, hey, Quentin gives us so much. You can't even describe it, whether academically, whether it's in practice, whether it's in a game. Those are the kind of kids you cheer for.
He set the screen for Thomas there.
Thomas has hit the last 2 in a row.
Thomas in the left corner at the bottom of your screen. Instead, it's going to be a drive and a foul. Drawn by 23. That's Jermaine Mann. The transfer from Gardner-Webb. The foul's on Ware, and that's his first.
You will remember his older brother, Charles Mann, the Georgia Bulldog, second leading free throw attempt shooter in the history of the SEC. Remember, Charles used to control everything. His big body at the guard position. You couldn't stop him from getting to the free throw line.
And it felt like Charles Mann was at Georgia for about 9 years.
Now an assistant coach for the Army Black Knights.
See, that'll make the next Sunny Side Up segment. Right after you get past land-grant institutions.
Yeah, remember, it depends where we are, because you're only frying one side.
Nearly 20,000 fans trying to distract Mann. Buries the second. Vandy's on a 7-0 run. 3-point game from Rupp Arena. Tshiebwe gets a breather. Ware playing big. Number 55 up top. Screen for Wheeler. Drive and dish. Brooks, that's his game. Mid-range.
They keep letting Wheeler go left.
Yeah.
Left. He's too good.
Drives you crazy, doesn't it?
No, it does drive me nuts. I just stand on the left. Now, doesn't mean he can't go right. I've seen that. But I just know where he's really good. And it's tough when they run offense, but when he comes across and you're squaring someone up, just stand, because watch, when he comes around, now jump on the other side. But you're late, you're stuck, you're going to help. I think that's good help defense, too. I think you make Brooks make that jump shot.
You feel okay going under the screen when it's Wheeler? He's not known to be a great shooter.
I make him to make the shot, but you got to hustle so that you can't let him get to that strong left hand.
Toppin in traffic, blocked by Ware.
Good defense.
Beautiful save by Brooks. They made him go right that time.
Yeah, a little different. Got to jump over.
Oh, now he's going left.
And he could finish left better.
Almost did. A rebound and a foul on Vanderbilt. Now go against Malora Brown. Away from the ball. And that's his fourth. With 8:29 to go, you got to get him out of there, right?
Well, terrific work by Ware. You know, defensively makes one play.
Yeah.
And then he's busting his rear offensively. He's not a scorer per se, but he's going to get offensive rebounds. So Malora Brown's got to push and shove this guy down. A fresh body.
Now Malora Brown goes to the bench with those 4 fouls. Jordan Wright comes in.
And because Wright came in at 6'7" and not Robbins, the big 7-footer, Vanderbilt got a lot shorter with this group on the floor.
Yeah, not a ton of size to begin with. And we got a lane violation. I'm amazed at how much we still see that really at all levels of basketball.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a great shooter on the free throw line. But Lance Ware had solid minutes in the win against Kansas. 10 minutes, 4 rebounds, 4 points. Pretty normal afternoon. That's what he does.
That's what he does. Plays his tail off. To quote John Calipari. That's not a quote. I'm cleaning that up actually a little bit. Lawrence up top, hounded by Grady. Pippen. Rise and fire. No. Rebound right. In on Ware. Blocked by the big man. Into the hands of Wheeler. Full throttle. Drive and kick. Grady missed it short. And Ware hustling for the rebound. Grady again. That's a deep 2. Calipari wanted a foul on the box out.
And this crowd is just begging for a bomb to drop this half, right? A long one by Grady.
Pippen can't get it to go on the other end.
Quality of shot is vital down the stretch.
Mintz wide open, yes! 19 for Davion Mintz.
If you're open, Wheeler will find you.
8 assists for Xavier. Pippen with a silencer on the other end. Just his second basket of the half. Crowd just went down about 100 decibels. Ware poked away. Quick hands by Mann. Lawrence turns it over. And a timeout on the floor with 6:47 to go.
Boy, the pace is great. Quality of shots at times have not been. But when we get our shooters set and Wheeler finds one, Mintz, terrific night. Knocks into 3, the building explodes. But who should answer? Sure, Pippen, easy. Vandy's still hanging.
John Calipari in good spirits this morning when we talked to him at shoot around, and in good spirits yesterday. This is from his Instagram account, wishing his father Vince Calipari happy birthday, 89 years young, and talked about what his dad meant to him. Been a great role model for me and my sisters. Showed us that nothing is below you and no one is above you. My dad was a grinder who wasn't afraid to work double shifts from the mill to the airport as a baggage handler to put 3 kids through college. That work ethic remains with Coach Cal. He always had a smile on his face, and his kindness turned many of the people he interacted with into lifelong friends. And oh, by the way, took care of my mom 24/7 for the last 5 years of her life. Would have done it 5 more years if he needed to. This pic was taken last week. Happy birthday, Dad. I mean, that's the side of Calipari that a lot of people don't know. His wife is very active on Instagram. That's one of the funniest things to follow on social media. She is a trip, but great admiration. His father was not a coach. He was, Coach Cal found basketball his own way, but so much admiration for the hard work from his father.
Yeah, Father Vince obviously very proud of his son.
And as well he should be.
Same work ethic.
Now the work ethic for both these teams tonight has been outstanding. I mean, this game has a March feel to it in terms of effort, tenacity. It's gotten physical. It's gotten a little chippy. And both teams want it bad. That's the kind of matchup we want to have in February.
It's a little bit, Mike, a message from Jerry Stackhouse and his Vanderbilt team the rest of the way, right? With Robbins now, Liam Robbins, back healthy, playing his first game, and the size factor that he gives this Vandy team, only for a few minutes right now, right? He's kind of comes in for 4 minutes and then out and rests. He's got to get back in playing condition.
Well, I think what's encouraging, I mean, it depends how you look at it if you're a Vanderbilt fan. It's encouraging that you see this and you say, well, heck, if we can play with Kentucky on the road, we can play with anybody.
That's a good point.
It could also be frustrating and where you say, well, are we going to see this more often? Because if we do, we should be winning more games.
But isn't that this league?
Right.
Like you don't go anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Name our worst teams in the league. You don't go there and get an easy win.
There's no question. I know that's cliche to some people, but I look at that Big 12 SEC challenge and I look at the teams that won near the bottom. I had the Ole Miss win. They blew out Kansas State. Florida comes back, beats Oklahoma without a Colin Castleton. That's how deep this league is, 1 through 14.
Wright got away with an offensive hook. He hooked Ty Washington and then kind of missed an easy shot.
Wheeler, Tshiebwe, hammered. I don't know if Oscar Tshiebwe is even breathing heavy yet.
Let's keep an eye on this. I think Studi gave him a shot as he was running down the court.
Yeah.
Oscar didn't like it.
No.
He's a friendly guy.
Are we going back to the review?
But he's telling the officials,
yeah,
I don't need another shot, or I'll take my shot.
Right, exactly.
And that's what you tell officials.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, John Sumble.
But I think it was Studi that got him just running down, just watching.
Now, I thought it was going down the court.
It is. It's
not
earlier than the play.
Yeah.
So if we wind it, if we can go back. If you go back, they were kind of running down to get set.
Because I saw the same thing you did.
And it wasn't, Robbins was guarding it, but it was Studi kind of took a shot. Let's see what happens. See, there's Studi right here, and boom.
Yeah.
Now, that's not that bad of a shot.
And again, it's not above the net.
No.
So I don't think that rises to the level of a flagrant, so therefore it is a play on.
I think Oscar was just getting his point across.
Letting them know.
Now, again, what Vandy's doing is every time he comes by, put a bump him.
Yeah.
That's in the scouting report, right? It's in the area, bump him.
If you had the over-under on monitor reviews.
Wow, yes.
If you took the over, you're sitting pretty right now.
Thank goodness we have monitor.
But again, I do like the fact that we make sure we get it right. We make sure keep the game clean. I mean, for a while there, what was the most common complaint? The game's getting too physical.
Yeah.
Too many cheap shots. Post play, too dirty down low. I think it's cleaned up. I think freedom of movement has improved the game of college basketball leaps and bounds. Tshiebwe with his 16th double-double this season. How about that? What a night for Davion Mintz. Ty, yes.
What a huge offensive rebound. Off the missed free throw. Can't happen if you're Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt now needs to get some buckets, get back on track. And it starts with Pippen trying to get it to him. Ty's all over him, and then a turnover.
So you're running your offense through your big up top. The big always should face the bucket. Once he didn't shoot it, dribbled it once, turned his back to the basket, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in major trouble.
18 turnovers on the Commodores. And Kentucky trying to tack on an 11-2 run with 5.5 minutes to play. Ty stops and pops, left it short. Here comes Pippen. Oh, Pippen with just a push off on Washington. Wow. And Washington gets called for the foul. A little frustration, perhaps.
Washington got his body into him early. Watch Washington come in, but I don't know about that. Wow.
I mean, that's a tough one if you're Ty.
Yeah.
And that's his 4th foul.
Yeah. The crowd will let you know how they feel on that one, too.
Pippen. Hounded by Wheeler. Inside.
Great ball.
Nifty move.
Great fake.
Pippen with 23. Came in averaging just under 19 points a game.
And we know Kentucky, the fast team, right? The quick scoring team. They'll also get you in a half court and grind you on the offensive end.
Grady for 3.
Boy, bad shot.
Wow.
Bad shot.
I don't know if I've seen Grady shoot an air ball in his life. See if Vanderbilt can capitalize. Right, down low, inside. You got to finish there if you're Robbins. Wheeler going to bleed some clock.
Keep an eye on Mintz.
Drive, dish, Brooks.
Nice. Got it. Nice. There's so many offensive weapons when Brooks is shooting like that. Now pick your poison when Wheeler starts driving.
Back-to-back 20-point games for Brooks. Remember, he had a 27-point effort against Kansas.
Brooks, Grady, Mintz on the outside, all shooting well. Tough.
And Pippen draws contact. Down low, he'll go to the line for a pair. Try to make it a 10-point game when we come back. 3:39 to play. Keon Brooks, he's your SEC Player of the Week. Keon Brooks loves him some mid-range game. Easily one of the best players in college basketball, maybe the #1 pick in the draft. Our #1 pick, John Sundvold, Mike Morgan, courtside here at Rupp Arena. Entertaining game. I mean, you got to give Vanderbilt a heck of a lot of credit for the way they played tonight.
They played hard. They've played tough. They played physical. We know they've turned the ball over too much, but they have forced Kentucky into some odd-looking shots. They've muddied the game up a little bit, and Kentucky has not shot the ball well in the second half. Back iron
For Pippen. Now Pippen, for all the things he does well, 73% free throw shooter. You'd think that number would be better.
Should be better. It's concentration. He's a good shooter. It's all about concentration.
Certainly nothing wrong with the form. Knocks down the second. And it's down to an 11-point game. 24 points tonight for Scottie Pippen Jr.
2-2-1, kind of a token defense, just slowly getting back.
What does Vanderbilt have to do here to turn Kentucky over?
Well, they've been fine defensively. I mean, they've been fine. Now they're going to a 2-3 zone. Now you've got to find shooters. Get the ball in the middle of the floor and attack because they've got bigs.
Great ball movement.
Perfect.
Mintz.
Good defense. Hey, good defense by Pippen. Made Mintz adjust the shot.
And a great box out. They kept Tshiebwe off the offensive glass. Pippen on a blow by. Mintz fouls him from behind. And that'll be a 1-and-1 now for the Commodores.
So I think when you guard Pippen down the stretch, you know he's going to have the basketball and dance with it. He loves contact. He loves getting into you so they can go around you.
Right.
Try to finish at the rim. I might give him a half a step so that he's going to shoot more jump shots. I know he's a good one, But I'd rather have guys shooting little fadeaway jump shots than standing on that free throw line time in and time out.
But just not threes.
Yeah, I mean, challenge him. I just don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Clock's not running. Because he'll do this the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get into the body and just make you foul. That's tough.
Some guys have a knack of doing that.
Yeah.
Under 3 minutes to go. It's a 9-point game. And a foul on the perimeter by Rodney Chapman. That's his third. Been a quiet night for Chapman. Transfer from Dayton.
He played when he was at Dayton a couple years ago. They had that team that was just unbelievable. 29-2. Obi Toppin played with them.
Right.
He ran that squad from the point position, averaged about 7 points a game. Wheeler's first points of the night.
He's done the job on the passing front. 9 assists in this game for the SEC's leader in that category. Open look at the top. Just too strong for Trey Thomas. And then out of bounds off of Mintz.
Malora Brown again went for the rebound. Mintz thought he had it. We couldn't see from our angle.
It's not the final 2 minutes, so it's not reviewable anyway. Right. Power drive, leads it off inside, and Malora Brown is hammered. Now, right after we wrap things up here in Lexington, the SEC Now team will have a complete breakdown of the game. SEC Now also available on the ESPN app. Been a long day of action here on the SEC Network. We went pre-Feinbaum, then Feinbaum, and then post-Feinbaum. And all the while, our award-winning trio back in studio has been keeping everybody up to speed on National Signing Day in football and another busy day of action in college basketball.
I'm glad Fish and the group could get in there early for the Florida-Missouri game.
Yeah.
Snow-ageddon in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize to my wife. I'm not there shoveling.
Uh-huh.
I'm not coming home tomorrow either.
Yeah. Good luck.
I'll stay on the road. Tell me when spring hits.
You and I are going to much warmer climates. You're going to Athens. I'm going to Gainesville.
Yeah, I have Auburn at Georgia on Saturday.
I don't know. I mean, Auburn is just absolutely on fire.
Oh!
Keon Brooks return to sender by Malora Brown. Pippen got it. 8-point game.
Ball fake, ball fake, ball fake. Shoot it. He's controlling everything. I know Keon Brooks. It was good. It kind of looked neat. He had an easy pass for an assist to a teammate for an easy bucket. That's what you do.
28 points for Pippen. Vanderbilt still breathing. 2 minutes to go.
Showtime comes only after the game's in hand.
That's right. And what's your John Sunbow? That's a 24/7 proposition.
Ooh, tough shot there.
Tshiebwe went for the rebound, got fouled on the floor by Malora Brown. And that's going to do it for Malora Brown. If this game was in Nashville, he'd get one heck of an ovation.
Hey, watch this. Ball fake, control, pace. Yeah, it's a great effort. I think he played a phenomenal basketball game. You know what? It goes back to what Mike was saying about role players, and he was talking about the NBA. 95% of the NBA players are role players.
Right.
Do what you're supposed to do. And I think it's the same at all levels, right? Do what you're supposed to do. Quentin Malora Brown, he does what he's supposed to do. Sets picks, rebounds, does the dirty work.
There are a lot of guys in the NBA now who didn't put up eye-popping offensive numbers in college. But if you can do certain things extremely well and you play the game the right way, you can still make it to the highest level.
And players and parents and AAU coaches should not be surprised at what scouts look for, right?
Right.
They're not looking at numbers. They're not looking at the stat sheet.
I mean, Coach Cal will tell you he's got a ton of guys in the NBA right now that did not put up huge numbers at Kentucky because there were so many other great players around him.
I love the fact Devin Booker never started.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
6th man of the year. Under 2 minutes to play. Pippen draws contact. That'll be on Brooks. He has an amazing ability to shift gears off the bounce.
We used to call it stop and go. Change the pace so that the defender can't get comfortable. And I think Pippen's as good as anybody at changing the pace. So it's a little slow, slower, fast, then back, then fast. It's much like a pitcher in baseball. They might go slow, slower, slower, right? Then you go, how can you get anybody out that way?
Yeah.
You're keeping someone off balance. And that's what Pippen does better than anybody.
Kentucky is looking for its 18th win of the year, trying to improve to 7-2 in the SEC, 14-0 at Rupp Arena. The lead is back to 8 for the Wildcats. Full court pressure.
Got two good ball handlers, Wheeler and Mintz. Got to get it in.
Grady having problems, just beat the 5 count. And then Wheeler pushed by Lawrence.
Wow, it's a quick foul when you look like you have a guy trapped, right? Get your hands off him. Lawrence, it looked like they had Wheeler trapped. Make the smaller Wheeler make some kind of play. Now, he might make it because we've seen him do it.
Usually there.
But don't bail him out.
I was going to say, usually there, don't you want to keep the pressure on, then when they break it in the front court, then you foul.
Yeah, they had him trapped. Now, he hadn't used his dribble yet, so he might have split him. Who knows what would have happened. But if you foul him when you the start of the trap, now he goes to the free throw line. Solid free throw numbers this year, 88%.
Well, Wheeler is going to do something that has not been done very often. He's going to lead the SEC in assists back-to-back years. And, of course, he's done it with 2 different schools, Georgia last year and now Kentucky. Pippen. Desperation 3. And there's Jordan Wright. Well, he's played a good game as well for the Commodores. Man inside. In on Tshiebwe. Tough take right at the shot blocker.
Kid's physical, isn't he?
Yeah.
He loves the contact.
Grady again gets it in, and a reach-in foul on Pippen. That'll stop the clock with 58.6 seconds to play.
Watch this, man. I mean, he goes right at Tshiebwe. Again, the left. If you're right-handed, that left shoulder, if you turn it into that defender, just clears some space.
Now, I think no matter how the final 58 seconds wind up, there's some encouraging things for Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not just Pippen tonight. Yes, Pippen has gone off and his scoring total is going to look impressive, 29 points. But you look at the other contributions. You look at Wright. You look at Mann. You look at Melora Brown, for that matter. There's other guys that have helped lead the way.
I would describe it like this. I always thought Vanderbilt last couple of years was a cute team, right? Offensively, they ran stuff, they shot it. This is different than a cute team.
Right.
This is a tough team.
Yep.
These guys play, and they get after you, and they got some dudes that will fight you a little bit. And again, when you've got a guy like number 2, you're in a lot of ball games. Now, can they figure out how to win some of these down the stretch?
Pippen set up Thomas. There's Wright again. He's everywhere. Chapman. Into the corner to Pippen. Pippen all the way. Smart job by Tshiebwe not to foul. And now Wheeler will bleed some clock.
Now you play keep away, see if they can catch you to foul.
Well, they're not catching anybody.
Yeah, that's a good job.
And Stackhouse was yelling on the sideline, hey, you got a foul. It's 14 precious seconds off the clock.
If they can't catch up to the ball, then it's hard to foul.
Yeah.
And then it's an intentional foul somewhere else, right? So that's the good job of 3 veteran players. Wheeler, Mintz, Grady, they've been around.
Yeah.
Keep away.
And again, Kentucky, I think it's one of the most underrated stats in college basketball. Assist to turnover ratio. And you got a bunch of guys on this team. Again, the top 2 guys in the league when you're talking about Wheeler and Ty, but a bunch of guys on this team that are very smart with the ball.
an older group, a veteran group, even though they're transfers in, but they're here for one reason. They want to win.
Right.
That's different than a young group that wants to win.
As Coach Cal told us today, with the transfer portal, it might help other teams. He said, I promise you, it's going to help us. Certainly has helped this year. The Wildcats up by 9. Davion Mintz, a career-high 21 points, all of them off the bench tonight. He's been fantastic.
You know what, Mike? It's great to have a guy that's a veteran player that's been around, led the league, scored last year, that can produce. It's not every night. He's had streaks where he's been brilliant, and then streaks of games when not. But when he is, it's just another weapon when other guys aren't quite having their night.
You know, last year, as everybody knows, you just want to burn the game film, right? You don't want to remember anything about it. You go, what, 9 and whatever if you're Kentucky, and you just say it's just a bad year. But this kid, even in a bad year, I thought was fantastic for Kentucky a year ago.
Well, he plays hard, and you look at those numbers, 6 for 11. His last 3 ball games, he was 4 of 19 for shooting. 0 of 8 in the last 3 games. We were here early. He was the one. I mean, the drills he was doing over and back and forth.
Has accepted his role this year coming off the bench. Still gets a ton of minutes. I mentioned the minutes per game for Davion Mintz. He averages over 23. So, you know, sometimes starting, non-starting, it's really an overrated stat because a lot of times a guy off the bench gets more minutes than one of your starters. Pippen continues to tack on a season-high 33 now. Wheeler trapped, and that's going to be a turnover.
You know, there were no options for Wheeler to pass the ball to. Everybody deserted him except Grady. He was double teamed. Ty Washington left. Mintz was too far across the court. Got to have someone in the middle.
You got a 7-point play you can draw up here?
No. You know, it's got to be quick, be a 3. Got to get it in.
Well, you know who's shooting it. Pippen. Passed up a 3, missed the 2. That's the presence of Tshiebwe altering that shot. And this is Kentucky surviving a heck of a battle from the Vanderbilt Commodores, but it'll be 12 in a row now over Vandy. And Kentucky continues to impress, now 7-2 in league play. John Sunvold, some final thoughts.
I thought a good ball game. Kentucky did what they had to do. Vandy was tough that second half, shot the ball well. Too many turnovers. Hey, the Big Blue move on. They're one of the best in the country.
Mintz a career-high 21, Brooks with 20, and Tshiebwe, just another ho-hum 17 rebound effort for Oscar. That's going to do it for us. For John Sunvold, Mike Morgan saying so long from Lexington. Wildcats win at 77-70. Stick around. Coming up next, we've got the gang back in studio for SEC Now.
The Cats have scored over 65.